Okay, so I just got here. One of my family members home said their boiler not working. I'm just gonna take a quick check on the thermostat because they changed the batteries and they probably think the thermostat is what's bad. So one of the quickest way is to listen out if the relay activates in the thermostat. So I'm just gonna turn it down right now. Inside temperature is 63. It just clicked, so it turned off because I brought it down to 58. So let's bring it back up to 65 and to listen if the relay clicks back on. So let's take that up to 65, just above where it's at now, 63, 65. There we go. So it's now calling for heat because I could hear it clicked back in the on position. So I'll just leave it at 68 now. And this is just for the boiler. It doesn't have, it's not it's not a system that calls for with air condition. It's just a boiler. All right, so let's look at the boiler, see why it's not turning on. Okay, so here is my relative's boiler. I'm just gonna first check to see what's going on. Well, the first thing, it's wet, so we have water leaking from somewhere. Okay, so let me get some lighting. So we have a leaky faucet right here, so we need to fix that. And you could hear the electronic ignition going, calling for lighting the pilot. So let's just open this. All right, and it just stopped trying. It just switched off from trying just now, so at least we know the ignition is working. So we gotta see if the pilot lit and not staying on. We could have a bad thermocoupler. So that's the next spot to check. So everything seems to work in fine since it's thermostat calling for heat, and the ignition, the electronic ignition turned on and was going. So in a few minutes it will try again. So I just need to see if the pilot is lit but it's not staying on. If it's not staying on, then it's the bad thermocouple. So we'll get back to you on that. So while this needs some maintenance, I mean the side glass needs some cleaning, and we have that dripping service valve that needs correcting, but everything else looks good on this steam boiler. It's a thermoflow thermoflow so that's what this is. So let's get back to the problem, to figuring out what this problem is. So here it goes calling for heat. Let's see if the pilot comes on. Yep, there's a pilot, but electronic ignition is not going off, which signifies that the thermocouple is bad because it's not sending back the signal to the gas valve that there you go, it just shut down. So it's a bad thermocouple. The thermocouple is not sending the signal to the gas valve, telling the gas valve that the pilot is lit, and so it could open up and send gas into the burners so that the burners can light up. So this is a thermocouple. They have a funky way in which they did this. Look at that. They wrapped it all around. Look at that. Why did someone wrap the thermocouple line all around here, then down underneath here and inside? This is crazy. This silver line right here is for the thermocouple. Wow, interesting. All right, let's change out that thermocouple line and get this bad boy running. Okay, so to begin taking out the thermocoupler, which is this line right here, we're gonna need to remove this line right up in here. We want to make some clearance and get some working, some site to work at. So we're gonna take this out and take this bar out from those, pulling those two screws, so we can get some visual underneath there, and then we'll get to take removing the thermocoupler. So apparently, while this is all wrapped up around here, at some point when it was all hooked up to the gas valve, they went to tighten the gas valve a little more, and when turning the gas valve, and as they turn it clockwise with all this connected to it, it got wrapped up around here. So we're gonna undo this, straighten everything out, put the new thermocoupler on, or remove the plate from here so it could get some sight. So now we can undo some of this, take this out along with the pilot light, thermocoupler assembly, spark ignition, and we can get to work on that better. So we're gonna get that out of here. So we'll just, this is a line. This is a line for the pilot. This is the pilot line. So it's kind of tight in here. We're gonna get down underneath here. So here we have the whole assembly taken down. This is the sensor, the thermocouple sensor. This is a spark igniter, and this is the line for your pilot. So this is the pilot line. I removed it, and so we're gonna have to unwrap it. So we have, coming from here, our spark sensor, our spark, and this is a sensor line right here. So we need to unplug this so as we can unwrap it from around the gas line and get that rerouted. So after flushing the boiler several times, side glass looking nice and clean, I'm just draining it just enough where I'll have a little bit less than half. So that way I'll have the automatic water feeder bring the water level back up to its normal level. So I'm just gonna drain the side glass, the water down in the side glass to about quarter, somewhere around down here, so I can also get to test the water switch, the water level switch, check for that light, make sure that's working. So here we have the new burner assembly kit. So we're gonna assemble it back onto this burner. So it's gonna get assembled right onto there like that. So let me unravel this and screw that back on, and then we install it. Okay, so the burner assembly is on with the pilot, or I should say the pilot assembly. You have the pilot on the right, you have the spark igniter in the middle, and the thermocoupler at the end on the left. So let's get this inside the burner and then we hook it up. So there we go. Now we have the pilot light assembly all installed up, and now we have the wires along with the pilot light tubing correctly ran. You can see from underneath there, it's coming up here, going into the gas valve. I have these lines. I'll probably dress these up a little bit, but now they're connected up to the controller. So let's get some water into here, because that's our level, our water level. So we'll need to top that up some more, but I'll let the automatic water feeder handle that. So we'll get some more water in here, and then we flip the switch, that switch to the on position, and we fire it up and see. We have a new spigot on right there. It's not leaking, just water, wet water. So there we go. Okay, so all our assembly is back in, so we're just waiting for the control board to sense the call for heat. Since we tried already before, the igniter went off, but the gas was still off. So now it's cycling, waiting for the cycle to end for it to try again. Okay, we just heard the vent dampener open, so it should be calling for heat now. Let's see. We should have igniter soon. There we go. And there we go with that. And we have flame. Burners look like they need a little cleaning. Have a little bit too much orange flame there. Or we should have a stage 2 possibly. But we have ignition. Our thermocoupler is working fine. We're looking good. Have that going on here. Where's our water level? Just about at half our water level. So that's good. Nothing's dripping. All looking well. And that's it. That's the brand Thermoflow. See you next time.